Yes! Welcome. I'm going to keep saying it just in case you haven't heard it yet. Welcome to the family. This is a supportive space. Like, what you're doing it's a little scary, and it's quite a bit of work. But no, you're not alone. You're going to go down this journey, celebrate the highs, and feel the lows as a collective and as a supportive community. So welcome, enjoy it, have fun, and know that we're all here for you along the way. Let's talk, what is Hollywood Fringe? We're going to go through a lot of this over the town hall next, it's on Sunday. On Sunday we have our first town hall. So please, everyone who just raised their hand as a new Fringer, please, 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 if you can't make it to the town hall, watch the recording. We're just going to word vomit information at you that you really need to pick up. But the idea is, hopefully you do know what the Hollywood Fringe Festival is, but if not, we are an uncurated arts festival. 100% of box office goes to artists, so the Fringe does not take a cut. We just facilitate the ticket sales and the steps between selling the tickets and getting those butts in seats. We are a nonprofit, and over the last 14 years, or this will be our 14th year, we have given back $4.3 million back into artists' pockets. And so hopefully we can add, several hundred thousand to to your pockets, because that is the goal. And additionally, we have a pretty strong code of conduct in our space. And we're going to continue to talk a lot about this, and it's not to scare you or, make it, it's don't be a jerk. It is welcome to this community, this safe space, and by having our code of conduct, it allows for real risk to be taken in your work, for you to have the supportive system and the world is too hard. We don't want this world to be hard. We want this to be a safe space. So no, hollywoodfringe.org/conduct, that will go into detail about what that is, but it's basically, don't be a jerk, and you're going to be just fine. But please read it. It's important. It's in your artist agreement, so you'll hear this probably a few times today. Read your contracts. So you have one with Fringe, and it's included in there. And so with that, we don't curate at the festival. The one thing we do curate or in regards to content, is hate speech. You can do anything at the Fringe as long as it doesn't break the code of conduct. And again, we'll talk more about this at the town hall, but I kind of want to get that language started. That way there aren't any surprises. That said, we've never kicked a show out. It's not like this is an easy thing. It's going to take a hell of a lot to cross that line. But if you do have questions, you can always reach out, support at hollywoodfringe.org, and we will walk you through if there are any gray areas or boundaries that we should be concerned with. Okay, so that's code of conduct. Thank you in advance for honoring that code of conduct and treating each other with love and respect, because that's what we all deserve. All right, key dates. February 1st, so just over a week, registration opens. How many people have their project pages already? Okay, very good. So you're a step in the right direction. hollywoodfringe.org/add_project. If you haven't already, that is step 1 in the Fringe Festival process. Start to get to know that page. It's your social media page. It is that home base for all things Hollywood Fringe shows. With that page, you can actually register on February 1st. Previews will begin on June 6th and go till June 11th with our opening night party on June 12th, which we will announce more details about that at the town hall on Sunday. So get excited. We already have that all booked up. The Fringe Festival officially will be June 13th through the 30th, with awards following the very next day on July 1st. So many dates. We're going to continue to kind of hammer those home because they're important dates that you're going to want to kind of keep your June open for. The guide deadline this year will be April 15th. So that is going to be, we're going to keep saying that one too. That is the one date you really want to keep in mind throughout this whole process. By April 15th, you are going to want to have your project created, your venue booked, which we're starting that process today, and registered for the festival. That way you get into the printed guide and you're officially a part of the festival. Don't spend the money on doing the Fringe and not make it into the printed guide. That would be stupid. We don't want you to waste that money. All right, funding opportunities. Speaking of money, the scholarship application closes tonight at midnight. I'm guessing none of us are going to close that application at midnight, right, Ellen? So get it in before our asses wake up tomorrow and you will be considered. So please, if you're interested in the Fringe Scholarship, those are for first-time Hollywood Fringe producers who contribute to the ethnic, cultural, racial, disability, deaf, and intersectional LGBTQIA+ community of the festival. We also encourage Spanish language, BIPOC, for formerly incarcerated people who fit the criteria above. So please, 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 please get those applications in. We want to fund your shows, and we want to help you have a successful Fringe. Additionally, we have, I think we can, yeah. We are absolutely going to fund 24 shows this year, which is the most artist fund shows we have ever done. Yes, it's very exciting. And that's thanks to the community. We all of our funding goes into a artist fund pot where 25% goes directly into artist commissions, and then 75 goes toward artist opportunities at the festival. That's our programming. It's things like this. And so because of the community really stepping up, we were able to hit our funding goal. We're just a couple $1,000 shy, so there's still time to donate if you're like, oh my God, I don't need this $10 in my pocket. We have a place for it. But we're pretty confident we are going to hit this goal, which means 24 additional funds will become available. So even if that scholarship program isn't right for you or you don't get selected for that scholarship program, then you will have a second opportunity through 24 artist stipends. Okay, enough about that. Workshops, we have so many of these events coming up. What time is it? Oh, I gotta go a little quicker. Okay, workshops. So we have free educational events all through the festival that are going to lead you from A to Z to make sure you are prepared for this festival. Look them up at hollywoodfringe.org/events. But to give you an idea of what's coming up, we have alternative BYOV venues at Fringe. So like for today, if you're like, none of these venues seem like they're going to fit my show, maybe you need to go the BYOV route, which is like partner with a coffee shop or, get the rights to do a show at a park. There's different, little more on the Fringe options available to you, and we will have a panel about that at early February. Then we have budgeting and fundraising, super important because that's going to help us all have an easier festival, right? And we have anti-racism for white artists up next. We have marketing and ticketing, how to tech your Fringe show, festival expectations, and then town halls. That's where Ellen, my co-director over here, raise your hand, where we're just going to talk at you for 2 hours. So it's going to be this for 2 hours. Not super pleasant, I know, but it is very important. Everything we talk at you, it really does matter, even if it doesn't seem like it today. It will later. So we have 4 town halls coming up this year, lots of town halls. So we'll have the early ones where we kind of go over the nuts and bolts of the festival. We'll talk about accessibility at the festival. We'll talk about festival expectations and awards and those things that come that you kind of don't think about until, oh shit, my show is on stage. Now how can I take it to the next level? What are the things that I need to think about so that I do something really cool after Fringe? We also have web sessions. Those are going to be our website-specific little workshops. Basically, as you've kind of started to figure out at least, we have a website that does all things Fringe. Those sessions are going to be where we sit down and really talk about how to navigate the website, because there's a lot of really, good tech people out there. I'm not one of them, and maybe you're not either. And so we can sit and actually just walk through the steps so nobody feels overwhelmed by the tech portion of this festival. Additionally, we have so many opportunities to chat this year. We have 4 Zoom sessions that are one-on-ones with myself and Ellen. We have 4 dates available. Check out our newsletters for the Calendly link, where you can schedule a 30-minute chat with us to decide, what your goals are at the festival. Maybe you're unsure if the festival is right for you. We will help talk you through that and give you a very honest opinion, just based on what we know from doing the festival all these years, whether or not, because sometimes the answer is maybe not this year, because we don't want you to go broke, or, you have a very different idea of what you want for your show, and maybe the Fringe isn't that fit. We want to give you honest feedback so that you have a good experience, even if that means not doing the festival. So schedule those out. We'd love to chat with you. Start engaging with the community now. I'm almost done, I promise y'all. Make sure you're getting our Fringe newsletters. Who's getting our Fringe newsletters now? Okay, fantastic. If you're not, please make sure there's a little newsletter tab at the top of our website that will take you to a place to sign up for those. If you want to do Fringe, you're going to want to know what's coming up next so that you can, stay on top of the journey. Follow us on social media at Hollywood Fringe across all of the platforms, even TikTok, which I think we'll use at some point this year. We're gonna try to become hipper. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't keep up. I can't even spell TikTok right when I try to write it down. Please use hashtag HFF24 when you're posting about the festival. Start to get involved that way. A lot of people will search for HFF24, and so use that when posting about the festival. You can also, of course, tag us at Hollywood Fringe. Also use our official Hollywood Fringe Facebook group. That's a great place to, ask questions, because there's questions that the community is going to be able to answer perhaps better than a Fringe staff member can. And so feel free to use those resources. People at Fringe love to share information, and so allow them that honor to share the information that they have with you. Okay, I think that's it. I think I did it. Those are the big announcements, y'all. So let's pivot over to venues, because that's why we're here, and these wonderful venues are here to tell you all about their spaces. The nuts and the bolts of how to get a venue at the festival, we talked about create a project. Once you create a project, you can directly apply to all of these spaces. Everyone up here today are registered venues with the Hollywood Fringe, which means if you go to hollywoodfringe.org/venue, all of their venues exist there. So you can check out all of the details. You can go back and find them after today if you didn't get a chance to connect, and start to investigate and find that right fit. So, who wants to go first? This is a new thing. We're kind of game showing this thing up. So each venue is going to get 4 minutes to tell us all about their venue, give us a little intro, right? That taste of their space. And at 4 minutes, Ellen, co-director over here, is going to play some playoff music. Do you want to give an example? Yeah, right. Yeah. At which time, venues, you have 20 seconds, and I think we're being very graceful with that. 20 seconds to finish up your sentence. Make sure you drop the email that you wanted to give before you walked away from stage. And at that 20-second mark, I will start to clap. And I would like this to be an immersive experience where all of the participants in the audience join me until they sit their asses down. Yeah? Yeah. It's fun, right? We're all family here. This is going to be a good time. So, in the hot seat, and it's got to be one of our veteran venues. Who wants to go first? We'll be nicer the first time. By the time you get to round 7, yeah, Zeke.
Sitting right next to you. What am I doing?
You can get up if you want to, or you can sit.
I'm going to move around, work the room for 4 minutes.
This doesn't count against your time, don't worry.
All right. What do I do? I'm just talking?
You have 4 minutes.
I have 4 minutes. I'll use like 2.
You don't have to use all
Maybe we'll just do this for the first 3 minutes. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the Hudson Theater. You've made it. At least the people in the room and the people there. Hi. So, at the Hudson Theater, we have 3 theaters and the coffee shop, and we have 2 of them are 99-seat theaters. We're in one of the 99-seat theaters. The other one is a 43-seat theaters. This year, we're predominantly offering 2 of these 3 spaces for Fringe because we have a full production run in the main stage theater. That doesn't mean we won't have Fringe options in that space. It just means that it'll be working sort of in a non-traditional Fringe environment, which would traditionally be sort of a rep shared space. That space this year will be, I got to work on another show's set. But in this space, typical Fringe stuff. In our little 43-seat theater, same thing. Hudson's been around here for 3 years, almost 33 years. It'll be 33 this year. Yeah, it's crazy, right? We're right on Santa Monica Boulevard. We've got a big marquee in the front. We've got the coffee shop. We've got a great staff here. We've got valet parking. For Fringe, we include a lot of things. So we include, you go up on the marquee. The valet parking service is scheduled for all shows. Cars do pay $10 a car if they want to park there. We include a tech operator for everybody, tech time, house manager, box office host, certain amount of marketing, social media marketing, Instagram primarily. But anyway, we love what we do. And how much time is that? Yeah, I can go fast. We love what we do. My Hudson Theater at gmail.com. That's theater ending in R-E, singular. Hudson Theater at gmail.com. My name is Zeke Retman. I've been with the Hudson for a long time. 25 years.
How do you manage booking your space? Do you do packages? Is it
Okay, that's a great question. We're doing things a little differently than we've done in the past this year. In the past, we've done slots and whatever. This year, we're doing, you pay for time, and that's it. You pay by the hour. We will prorate down to 15-minute increments. We're not talking about prices today on the venue panel, so I'm going to go too deep here. But you may find that other venues will do it a little differently, and they'll talk about that. But here, we're doing it, this year, we're hourly, and we'll prorate down to 15-minute increments. So if you've got like a 10-minute show, I'm just saying. I don't know. That it? You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Anyway, I'm really happy to be hosting this today. You're the best. You're the best. You guys are all the best.
I should have mentioned that. Thank you for grabbing that up. So yeah, no prices at the panel.
Hello, friends. My name is Zach Davidson. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the lead producer for the Los Angeles LGBT Center, which is about 2.5 blocks that way on Santa Monica. If you hit the Hot Pink Trejo's Coffee and Donuts, you've gone about a block too far. For Fringe, let's see. So we, on site, we have 2 theaters and 2 art galleries. For Fringe this year, we are only programming in our Davidson Valentini Theater, which is a 50-seat black box. We are doing some a la carte booking, but we also have discounts if you book a package of shows. We have discounts at 3, 5, and 7 shows. Included in that booking, obviously access to the theater. We have a pretty extensive inventory of light and sound equipment. Our technical director is amazing. Someone fact checked me. I believe he was the technical director for the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Yeah. His name is Matt Richter. So if you book at the center, you get access to his inventory, and because he's not here, I can volunteer him. You get access to his expertise. We also have dressing rooms on site. We have a parking garage on site, also a coffee shop on site. And what else? We will provide an SM. We ask that all projects coming in work with a LGBT center provided stage manager. What else is important? So our theater lets out into a beautiful gated courtyard where you can set up your box office if you want to sell concessions or merch. I don't know if you have a t-shirt with your face on it, but you can sell your own concessions in our courtyard, and that is monitored 24/7 by our security team. So your audiences can also mingle there before and after your performance, or check out the art exhibits in our galleries. And then the tech time, we offer two times the run of your show in free tech time. So if you have a 1-hour show, you get 2 hours of tech in the space for free. Additional time can be purchased at a discounted rate, or if you don't book with us, you can still book rehearsal time at the center, but not at a discounted rate. And then what else is important? The LGBT Center is the largest provider of services to the LGBTQ plus community in the world. Our mission is to build a world where LGBTQ people thrive as healthy, equal, and complete. While we are open to booking any show, every show, we are prioritizing projects that speak to that mission, that engage with it, that uplift it, projects and artists. So if that sounds like you, please shoot us an email at LALGBTcenterfringe@gmail.com, and we'll see if we can get you in. We'd love to work with you.
Hi guys, I'm Calvin Piku. I'm the managing director of one of the newest Fringe venues, the Eastwood Performing Arts Center, also known as Eastwood PAC or just Eastwood. We're in East Hollywood at Santa Monica and Oxford, right before you hit the 101, so convenient for anyone who's coming out of town to see your show. We have 2 spaces. We have a beautiful 99-seat theater with stadium-style seating, high ceilings, and a very large dressing room. We just call that the Eastwood Main Stage. And we also have a 30 to 50 seat intimate black box that we call the Oxford Underground. We're scheduling based on 5-show packages. This includes time for your technical rehearsals and your dress rehearsals. So you'll get 3 times the time of your show for your tech rehearsals and an hour plus on your dress rehearsals. Let's see what else is going on in there. 15 minutes load in, 15 minutes load out. The kind of shows that go good in our place is really wide because we've got 2 very different types of stages. So we can put in our main stage a musical because we have a 32-channel sound mixer. Anyone who has a production design, they are really aching to get out of their system and wants a big space to do that would go great there. Whereas our black box downstairs is much more akin to one-person shows, comedy shows, or intimate two-handers, things like that. We offer an insurance rider. Included is in your rental would be someone running concessions. However, you would have to hire one of our venue stage managers and a box office person as well. Yeah, and our storage is minimal, so when it comes to striking, you do have to strike everything you load in, take it with you when you load out. But I think for the most part, we're just happy to be a part of the community. For anyone who's familiar with the Met, we're in the old Met space. So we brought it back. We're finishing the refurbishment now, and it just looks so good. We're so happy to bring it back. And if you're ever driving by, it's a bright yellow building with black trim. You can't miss us at Oxford and Santa Monica. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jade Warner. I am a new venue for the Fringe Festival, so bear with me. I have notes. We are located right across from the Hudson, 6502 Santa Monica Boulevard. That's basically on the corner of Wilcox in Santa Monica, right next to the blank. We are on the other side. We are the Gloria Gifford Conservatory, but we are going by the GGC Theater. And we have 49 brand new theater seats that can also have like an adjusted, we do foldable chairs, make it 55. Our stage is 20 feet wide, 15 feet in depth. So you have like a big playing space for your show. We have very simple lighting and sound. We have basically been a theater and an acting school for over 5 years. We've produced about 7 or 8 productions in that space since we've been there. We've been very successful with our shows. We've won awards. Our lighting and sound, like again, I'm just saying it's very simple, but it's been very functional for us. We have 2 bathrooms and a dressing room. Bathrooms can be obviously used at your own discretion. Whether you want to have additional dressing rooms, you can do that. Just make sure, obviously, if you have guests coming in, everything should be clean before they get seated. Our scheduling right now, we're just going to kind of do a first come, first serve basis. So people are emailing me now, and we're just going to kind of go by a schedule. We do have packages available if you are looking to book multiple shows. Our average time is like the Fringe, so we're doing 90 minutes, 60 minutes for a show, 15-minute load in, 15-minute load out. For the shows, we're looking at every show as a case-by-case basis. We want to, see what your vision is, and hopefully we can accommodate whatever that is for you in our space. So we're not really like saying anything. Like if you want to do a comedy show, a musical, whatever, we have the ability to do that. For each show, technical, your rehearsal time, you get 2 times the amount of your show time for whatever you want to do. If you need to rent or use the space after that time slot that's available to you, it's just an additional rate. Sorry, where's my time? Where am I at? I just want to make sure. So anyway, I have more time than I thought. I'll do a tap dance. When you book a show with us, there is some furniture that is available to you within our space. So you don't have to bring in all of your pieces. We have a futon, a couch, tables and chairs. One thing that we do ask is that you do hire our stage managers for your show, just so that they can run the lighting and sound for you. A highlight that we have really high ceilings. It's very high, and basically the stage, depending on how you want to set up your stage, you can have wings customized on the side, or you can have them taken away. So if you need more play space, then you can use the whole stage. If you want us to set up a wing for you, we're able to do that. We have an alley that's in the back of our venue with AstroTurf, has a red carpet, a step and repeat, so you're able to also use those things for when you're having an opening or a closing. We also have like a little bar set up for concessions that you can have for your guests before and after. 2 bathrooms, that's a huge plus. And for striking, we just ask that you basically bring everything that you're bringing in. Unfortunately, you have to bring out. We don't have storage space at this time. We're not going to take any percentage from your box office. We just ask that you obviously staff that person, the house manager, for your show. And I think that's it. Yeah.
All right, hello. I'm Patrick Duffy. I run the Broadwater, which is just east of here on Santa Monica. It's Santa Monica and Lillian. We have 4 theater spaces and a full-service bar. Our theater spaces, the largest is our main stage. They're very unexciting names, but they're useful because they are what they are. They are what they call. So the main stage is our biggest space. It's 96 seats and proscenium style. Fixed risers, and then our next one down is our second stage, which is 70 seats, can be expanded. We can add 8 seats, but can be expanded to 78. Also sort of fixed riser, raised risers, and proscenium. Then we have a 50-seat black box space, which is for Fringe. It's in a sort of a light 3/4, so there's a main bank of seats, but then we have a couple rows on each side, so it's much more intimate. That's 50 seats. And then we have a small studio space, which is 21 seats. We can cram in another 6 or 7 people. We can get it to be about 28. The studio is the smallest. It doesn't have its own lobby. It's sort of the same door that people come in to go backstage or go to our big main restrooms. There's also the way you go into the studio. There's also no backstage area of the studio. There's little places you can hide and wait for your entrance, but that's about it. So it's a fun little space. But people use it a lot for. I mean, we've literally had 12-person musicals in there, but a lot of comedy, a lot of one-person, two-handers type thing. The main stage space has its own suite of little bathrooms, a fairly large dressing room. The other 3 spaces have their own lobbies and entrances. The main stage has its own, we can do some storage. We sort of, there'll probably be 20 to 25 productions in there, and everyone gets their little, I forget what it is, it's like a 3 by 3 foot by 3 foot square that we have like virtual lockers, so that everyone can have their own space to stack their stuff. The other spaces don't really have storage, so it is like a lot of places you have to pack. It's like the forest; you pack in and pack out, and you don't leave anything. This year we've always had packages. This year we've changed it a little bit, so we have packages for 30, 60, and 90-minute shows. And then on top of that, with most venues do, we have a 15-minute load in, 15-minute load out. So if you're doing a 60-minute show, you're going to have a 90-minute footprint, if that makes sense. So we have 30, 60, 90. We also have 3, 5, 7, and 9 show packages. We're really only doing packages, so we're not really doing a la carte. So if you have a 1 or 2 performance, we can't really this year make that work, but if it's 3 or more, we can make that work. We're also doing one price. We have one price. So in the past, we've broken everything out in sort of an a la carte, like your stage manager's this and your insurance is this. This year we have one price, so everything's included. Your technician, your tech time, your performance, your in and out, your insurance. It's all one price, just to make everything easier for everyone. We do have the resident stage managers for each space, so that's the person that's going to be programming and running your show. And again, we do have we have a bar, full service bar that's actually operated independent of when shows are. and alcohol sales are restricted to the bar itself, but it's a fun clubhouse for of all the shows going on, and people will often spend the day and see 6 shows and get a drink in between each, and safely and responsibly. But that's sort of a fun. Oh my God, I've done it!
God! 20 seconds. I was like, what is happening?
And that's it. And I'm Patrick Duffy.
And how do they get a hold of you?
Rentals at thebroadwaterla.com.
I thought he'd never finished. Hi, I'm Lauren Golston Salazar. I run the Actors Company. We have been part of the Hollywood Fringe Festival since Fringe 1. So this puts us at what, 13 years? 14? 14th. Okay, 14th. And we have 3 spaces. They are, I'll go into the, I took notes because I didn't do my homework coming here. So everyone had sheets, and then I kind of wrote them out here. If you want to reach me, it's info at theactorscompanyla.com. That's info at theactorscompanyla.com. And we offer packages. We have 3-show, 5-show, 7-show. I haven't tooled yet the 2024 brochure, so I'm honoring the 2023 prices up until the 2024 comes out, which should be about February 1st. I'm also considering adding in a 30-minute show package as opposed to just the 60-minute and the 90 and the 2-hour packages. You do need to use our stage managers. They have been with us for many fringes, and they know what they're doing. They know what it is up there, and they make sure that nobody erases your show. They make sure that during tech, if you say, hey, can I have a sunset here? They'll whip you up a sunset, and you'll say a little more red, and they'll do it for you. So it speeds things along quite nicely. They're all very nice and kind as well. As far as tech time, you get double the run time of your show. We do have the benefit of having our own parking lot, which is directly outside of the stages. So we always reserve one spot for the load-in, load-out car. So just make sure all the wigs, costumes, U-Haul, whatever it is that you have, gets the spot right out front, and it makes a very easy load-in, load-out that way. And then there's ample parking, and we also have the Target Mall, the Gateway Mall, right on the corner. So people park there all the time too. So this parking is pretty easy for LA. Easy, Let's see what else. We're on the western part of the Fringe, as I just mentioned. We're near Santa Monica and La Brea. We offer box office services. We also have an add-on this festival of social media, so we can do some social media blasts, create reels, whatever, do some extra social media stuff for you within our own accounts. We also do an e-blast, and we have about 20,000 on our email list just from our company. And we do really try to form a community within the community of Fringe. So there's a little Actors Company community. We try and make sure that everyone gets along. If you're not nice, don't apply here. I just have no more tolerance for that, and nor should anybody. I mean, we all understand everybody's show is the most important show, but also it's important that you be respectful, so that everyone's respectful to you too. So that's where my tolerance goes up to. Let's see. We do our scheduling in April. Since you just moved the guide to April, it'll be right before the guide closes. This way, we schedule as a whole. I run 12 film festivals, so I'm used to doing a great schedule. And when I do 20 seconds. When we do the schedule, we consider it as a whole. So if you have a friend who's also in our space in a different show, we will make sure that one of the shows are back to back, so that you can encourage your friends to come out that particular show. We, if there's something thematically, like we had a show about dogs and a show about cats, we did one performance back to back with that, and people came and saw that. Hey, I went too far too. That means 20 seconds or I'm done? 20 seconds, okay. What else is important? We offer insurance. We have 2 traditional theaters and then one that's a flexible space in that the platforms move, the chairs move. As a director creatively, you can't tell me that you can't do something in that space. It can do anything you want it to do. Info at theactorscompanyla.com. Lauren Golston-Salazar.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome, everyone in the audience and everybody out there online. Hello, hello. My name is Matthew Quinn, and I run Theater Asylum along with my partner in crime, Berta Rodriguez. We've been running venues since year 1 of the Fringe and also produce shows every year of the Fringe, including Pick of the Fringe and the Hollywood Encores that run following the Fringe in July. This year we're also very excited that we will be working again with the New York City International Fringe Encore for scouting shows. This year, in terms of venues, we have 3 venues and 6 different spaces. Just quickly, Stephanie Fury is located on Melrose and Larchmont. Beautiful walk-up stairs to the space, 36 to 42 seats. One of the nice perks of that, there's a full set room with stove, couch, beds, refrigerator, anything you need on stage is there. It really makes it, if you have a apartment scene, it's perfect for you. McCadden Theater, which is located on North McCadden Place, down the block from LGBTQ in Menani. This is our largest space, I shouldn't say that. It's a 50 to 60 seat theater. It has a double-decker stage, which really makes it nice. It also means we really want larger shows, +3 cast or more, to take advantage of that great large space. Finally, there's Thymele. This space actually has 4 different spaces. They're kind of a build-your-own space from 20 seats up to 100 seats. You set up the chairs, you break it down. We get a lot of immersive shows, a lot of solo shows. You can set it up any way you want, which makes it a lot of fun. We're offering package deals like everyone else, 3, 5, 7 show package in 30, 60 or 90 minute plus. We're very big on options and trying to work for you what option. So 1 or 2 shows or 4 shows, we make it work as well. The package includes the package does not include the tech operator and box office, which is separate. We do have the tech operators in each space that you pay for separately. One of the unique elements of our spaces is our promotion work. So we extend the normal promotion along with social media. We have weekly meetups on marketing and publicity. We provide lanyards to all the shows in Asylum, which lets you go see each other's shows for free. And we really work. We know what the real challenge here in LA is, getting butts in seats. So we do a lot to work on that. Press releases, all that type of stuff. And this year we're expanding to using AI to help your marketing skills. We are really big on international shows. So those of you out there watching who have international shows, we do a lot of support to get shows in here. And we do provide not streaming, but a VOD, video on demand system, so that if you do film your show, and we have a list of videographers you can use, you can then put it up online, put a ticket price, and we share that fee. We have a packet that you can get by either emailing me at mquinn@combinedartform.com or mquinn@theaterasylum.com. It's also available at our website, theaterasylum.com. That has all of our prices, all of our information. We're really looking forward to a busy, crazy year, and we can't wait to talk to all of you. Did I hit it, Berta? Boom! Mic drop. Boom.
And you didn't even use the extra time.
And you didn't even
supposed to have like 8 minutes.
Ellen set that up.
This was for him, so.
This is for me. This was
Okay, my time's going, so I gotta go. Hi, I'm Jen Crafts, and I run Stagecrafts with Greg Crafts, who's back there waiting. Hello. And we have 5 different rooms this year, so we kind of have something for everyone. So we have the Madnani Theater, which is of 49-seat black box. It's right next to the Macadam. We have Javisa Coffee, which is a new space this year. It's super cool. It's a coffee shop on Highland with a really nice cabaret space. And the coffee shop will be open. So even if your friends don't want to see your show, you can be like, but you can get coffee. There you go. I would go. And then we also have a very cool intimate immersive space called the Henry Murray stage at the Matrix. And that is basically a converted attic. It's really cool. It seats 30 and it's wonderful for like two-handers or solo shows or even up to maybe like 4. It's a very, very intimate, immersive space, which is very cool. We are also booking some on the main stage at the Matrix. So that is a big 88-seat proscenium. And then we are bringing back a venue this year we are calling it the Hobgoblin Playhouse because it's our little pop-up venue, but it is what used to be New Collective on Santa Monica, so there will be life on that block again this year. Woo! We are signing the lease this week, so as soon as I have the keys, I will be able to do tours there. But it's a really nice space. It is a 50-seat black box. We're going to have projection capabilities in there and things like that. Beautiful lobby, and within walking distance to everything. So it's gonna be great. The way we schedule, what am I supposed to talk about? Let's see. So the way we schedule is we do everything in blocks, packages like everyone has talked about. Our schedules are already done. So when you book with us, you get to pick your schedule and you have it. So go ahead and print your postcard, bring it to office hours next week. And then we also do, for our tech and dress, so we do a week of tech rehearsals, which is 3 times the length of your show. We do shows of any length. We have slots already available for 2-hour shows if you do have a longer performance. And then we also have a week of dress rehearsals. So our idea was always that you'd come in, you would do your tech, and then you would come back the next week and run it. Greg and I are producers first. We have produced every single year at the Fringe since it started. And so as venue managers, we look at it as a producer. What do we want as a producer? We want more tech time. So that's what we just added into all of our packages. So that is included. And then we do, like everyone else, we have venue stage managers, and we have our own front of house staff that is not included in the rent, but it would just be, it would be part of the package that would be separate. And then in terms of things like storage and things like that, it really depends on the venue. All of our venues are so different. So if you are interested in a specific venue, just ask me. We'll figure out the storage situation, or I'll say no. Depends. And then in order to get a hold of me, you can do it through the Fringe site on any of our venues. You can just apply there, or you can email us at rentals@thestagecrafts.com. And I think that's it. Yay. Woo. 29 seconds.
Nice. I'm waiting for the timer to restart. I'm Amber. I run the Zephyr Theater. If you hear a baby in the corner, that's mine. Give me a little grace. I had a baby 4 weeks ago, so if I forget something, it's been a year. Well, our space is on Melrose and Gardner, so we're on the, what direction is that? West? Southern west corner of the border. We have 74 seats. It's a 3/4 thrust, so we have audience on 3 sides. There's roughly 50 seats in the center section, so I always tell people if you want 74 seats, you have 3-sided audience. If you are a smaller show and you only want 50 seats, we can block off those side sections and you can just have a 50-seat house in a more proscenium style. We have a beautiful outdoor courtyard, which is great for the month of June. So everyone kind of hangs out there as they check in. They can grab a drink at concessions. And then we do allow everything into the theater. We have 3 restrooms, 2 patron and 1 backstage. If you heard whispers of our restrooms not working last year, we spent $40,000 and fixed that this year. I don't want to talk about food problems. But we have great working restrooms this year now. We have 2 dressing rooms. Our email, if you want to reach out to us, is fringe@theaterplanners.com. Theater is spelled R-E at the end, the proper way, and planners is plural. We want all types of shows. We have a pretty large stage. It goes 30 feet wide, 18 feet deep. So we can take large shows, musicals, ensemble pieces, but we also have a curtain track that runs the width of the stage, so that can bring the back wall down and make it feel really intimate for even a solo show. So I feel like it's really versatile. If you want to book, we book a la carte, so show by show. We'll book a minimum of one show, and then with a competitive hourly rate. We work with you and your conflicts to see what the best schedule is based on availability, based on how Fringe works, and we really try and cater your schedule to you. And then once we get that schedule locked in, we'll contract you, and you can announce those the very next day, as long as we have a contract. And please read your contract and read them well. And then we do 15 minutes of load in and out. If you have a super complex load in and out, you can talk to me, and we'll see if we can get you some extra load in and out time. But really, you can do a lot in that 15 minutes. I run 11 venues total. Only the Zephyr is participating in Fringe, but we do offer discounted Fringe rates for all Fringers, whether you book with us or not, for rehearsal time. So if you need a rehearsal space, reach out to us. All 11 of our venues, 2 in West Hollywood, 1 in North Hollywood, we do have Fringe rates for rehearsals. Rearrange those words and they'll make sense in your brain. For tech time, we include 2 hours of tech time in your rental, and we do 2 weeks of tech. And again, I try and work with your schedule, so I have everyone fill out a Google form, and then I do a bunch of Tetris, and somehow it works every year. Not quite sure how, but everyone gets a time that their cast can make, and it works well. On average, we do 4 to 6 hours of tech time per production. It just kind of depends on what your needs are. Included in your booking is 2 hours of tech time, group banners and posters, a concessionaire, and we have some good storage in the back, alley access. So if you are loading anything in and out, you can just drive your car up, drop it off, and then go repark. And that is a separate entrance from where the audience is coming in and out. Audience is coming in on Melrose. You guys can enter and exit through the alley. And then just some additional costs that we do require: an insurance writer, a tech person, and a box office person. If you email me, I can send you our flyer that has all those different rates broken down for you. But trust me, you want all those things, so you don't have to think about them. Again, Zephyr Theater, 74 seats, 3/4 thrust, awesome courtyard. My name's Amber, and email us at fringe@theaterplanners.com. I think that's everything.
You did it.
Also, there's a baby, so
There's a baby.
Come see our
Come see the baby.
She'll be there a lot.
My kid's 2.5 now, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to come to my venue. Hi, I'm Allie Miller-Fisher. My pronouns are she, her. I run 3 clubs with my partner, Michelle Hoden, who is not here. And it is on Santa Monica. It's on where am I?
Santa Monica and
Vine. I had a baby 2 years ago, and I'm still not here. Okay, so our venue is very, very build your own space, because it's all cabaret tables and chairs. So you want 30 people, then we move the tables and chairs around, and it's 30 people. You want to fit 170 people in there, you remove the tables, and we'll figure it out. They're going to get real friendly. But it's a bar, essentially. And you walk in, and if you haven't been to 3 clubs, you walk in and there is a bar, and then you walk through the bar and you go into the theater space. And I think legally we can only fit 115 in there, but the cops aren't watching this, so we'll figure it out. The space has 5 projection screens. 2 of them are in the house, and 1 of them is on the back of the stage if you're going to go proscenium style, but we have a lot of immersive shows also that are in the round. You can absolutely adapt the chairs and the tables to your space. We do require a 30-minute load in and a 15-minute load out. if you and the show after you want to work together for your time and overlap the 15-minute load out and the 30-minute load in, we're down for whatever as long as there is 30 minutes there, because we find with the bar and the tiny little door we have for loading in, it does require that much time. Plus the tables are heavy. The bar will be open during your show, but not the bar in your space this year. We are no longer opening the bar in the theater space. It's too distracting. So we will have cocktail servers in the front bar, and you yourself can decide whether you want cocktail service during your show. It does not change your rental rate. It's just, do you want them coming in? Do you have the kind of show where you want people ordering drinks throughout, or do you want them to wait until your show is over? Totally fine. We do a 5-show package or a la carte. It's up to you. The 5-show package saves you a minimal amount of money. If you book outside of the package, if you book under 5 shows, we'll give you 2 hours of tech time. If you book 5 shows or more, you get 5 hours of tech time. I didn't do the math initially. I don't know why it is that way, but that's what it is for you. You do have to pay the tech person separately, but you do have to use one of our tech people, but you can pay them per show. It's not an upfront thing, so that's like not a cost you have to worry about right now, but you will have to also pay them for tech time, which is something every year that is for some reason very confusing. So if you do have 5 hours of tech time, you still have to pay that tech person for those 5 hours, because it's not me. I didn't do it. I don't know how to run the light board. We have a lot of musicals in there, and if you do have a musical where you want to bring in 8 headset microphones, and you have sound cues, and you have projections, and you have a live band, I would highly suggest hiring 2 tech people, one to run sound and one to run lights. But if you want to gamble, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. It's just a lot to handle in there. But we have plenty of technicians to go around. That's not true. No one has plenty of technicians. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. I maybe have 3, but we'll figure it out. I'll learn how to run lights for you. But it totally lends itself to one-person shows. Also, it's a very dark, intimate, vintage feeling space. 3 Clubs, however, this year is also offering a black box option, which will be under 50 seats, which they're building right now, so I can tell you nothing about it. But there will be a black box space in the back that will enter in separately, so you don't have to go through the bar, that will not have cocktail service, because it's a black box and you can't have cocktails in black boxes, obviously. I don't know. Allie Miller, 21 and over, it's a bar. So your brother can't come, I'm sorry. Even if he really loves you, if he's not 21, he can't come. Fringe manager at 3clubs.com is my email. I did it!
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to second that, because this becomes a problem during guide time every year. 21 plus must be listed if you are in that space, because otherwise you will get an email from me, and I can promise you at least 2 people in this room will get that email. So please try to avoid it, because I'm a busy lady. Y'all, well done. I can't believe we didn't get to use all of our cool music, but maybe next year you'll be more comfortable with the setup and we can go from there. I took some notes because there's a couple things I just want to make sure we talk in the general sense for venues, because a lot of y'all are new, and you might be going, what in the actual fuck am I supposed to do? Because this is a lot of information. So I just want to name, some venues might have specific times that they block shows in. There is no rule on the Fringe side. We will say over and over again, we recommend shorter shows because they just tend to get more butts in seats because of the dynamic of people going to show after show after show. That said, there are no Fringe laws around that. So just make sure if you have a longer show, you're checking with the different venues that you're interested to make sure that there are options available for you in that space. Same goes for the amount of performances. There is no rule on how many performances you do at our festival. This doesn't work like Edinburgh Fringe, where you're doing a show every day, same time. This is, whatever schedule you want, you can do, as long as you can book a space for it. That said, the average amount of shows that people do at our festival are between 3 and 7. But if you have, think about your audience. How many people can you reasonably get to your show? And consider that when deciding how many performances to do. I highly recommend, if you are new to LA, you don't know anybody, please don't book 10 shows. You are going to hurt yourself trying to fill those seats. So don't do that. And remember, all of these venues can be found at hollywoodfringe.org/venues. Spend a lot of time on that page in the next month as you decide what home is going to be best for your for your show. And I also note we have 2 venues that aren't here, 905 Cole and Jack's Theater, as well as there's already one I know for sure is going to be added to the site in the next month, but perhaps more as well. So don't be alarmed if new venues pop into that venue page, because it's an ever-moving machine. So know that there's venues that you don't hear from today that are on there as well. Okay, take tours, get to know these venues intimately, because remember, even if, like, okay, you only get to do one, or you probably only have one show, so you're going to book one venue for the festival. That doesn't mean you're not an artist after Fringe. This is a great chance to get to know these spaces. Just because you're at Hudson today doesn't mean you're not going to be at Threes with your next show. So there's nothing wrong with getting to know multiple venues, taking multiple tours, and really just starting to invest in your theater networking community, because even if it isn't the venue for you this time, it might be next time. Okay, we're going to do a quick little show of hands. I'm going to start with a question that many venues brought up, but I think it could be worth a show of hands. We were talking stage managers and tech, and are stage managers something you require in your venue, or rather that they are booked through your venue? So does anyone who requires that a stage manager from their space is booked? I could not have asked that question in a more complicated fashion. But, right. A tech, thank you. Yes, yes.
Because like we require you to have a stage manager that's yours.
Okay.
I don't care who it is.
Okay.
Your tech person has to be.
But the tech, okay, so let's maybe there's 2 questions there, right? Because I know, okay, so who requires a tech person booked through their space? Yeah, and I think as we've been talking about, right, you have maybe 4 shows that are before or after you, hell, maybe 15, depending on the day of the week. That is so that you don't end up with a zeroed out Q lab. This is kind of the venues have learned to help protect your artistic space within the show. And then, okay, same question for stage managers. Does anyone require a stage manager is booked in their space? It is the same thing? Okay, great. I know there's a couple of venues, but maybe they're the ones that were not here today. So perfect, great. Live stream. So with live stream, y'all, this was a COVID thing, but it stuck around for accessibility, if for no other reason. Providing a live stream like today, it helps, of course, like people who are just unable to leave their home, but also sometimes we don't have the mental capacity, and we still want to experience. So live stream is something you can have at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. It is not required. You can do it for one show, you can do it for all your shows, it is totally up to you, but the technology on the Fringe website exists for you to have that added live stream show that is simultaneous to your in-person. So this is not an on-demand situation with the festival, but simultaneous. So how many venues, raise your hand, if you have a live stream set up within your venue space? So not like a hired out, but there is a live stream set up that I could walk in and go, I have no idea what I'm doing with live stream, but I would like to have it. Great. Who the hell? Yeah. Okay.
Los Angeles LGBT Center.
Eastwood Performing Arts Center.
The GGC Theater.
The Broadwater.
Actors Company.
Stagecrafts venues, so that's the Madnani, Javista, the Matrix theaters, and the Henry Murray upstairs at the Matrix, and then the Hobgoblin Playhouse.
Have live stream.
We'll have options for live stream. Come talk to us though.
I have Wi-Fi.
You can do it at our theater. I just know how to do it. Have you come do it though.
Thanks, y'all. Yeah, we will have in the participant packet, there will be like some, and we'll talk about the participant packet a lot more on Sunday, but there will be options for like discounted photographers, videographers, and live stream technicians. Although I will note, and I think we've seen the problems, if you are bringing in a third party who has never been in this space, relying on something like, okay, I don't know where the Wi-Fi is, we're going to give it a shot, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't go well. So I would also just consider whether you want to offer a good live stream or hope to God it works and then maybe have to deal with the complaints later too. So just like really, live stream is not something to be like, hope it works, because audience expect a show when they're sold a ticket. Okay, last question in this hands up portion of the event. So we talked about insurance. You are required to have insurance as a Hollywood Fringe production. That is in the artist agreement that you sign when you register. A lot of the venues talked about you can sign on, like you can get a rider for their venue. Who here, raise your hand, a participant can come in and get insurance through your venue without a lot of worry?
Sorry, I need to check on that.
That's okay.
I need to check on that for our theater, just so you know, and I'm not looking into
Yeah, and no, so with that too, like reach out to support@hollywoodfringe.org if you are at a venue or interested in a venue that doesn't and you're worried about that. We do have people we can recommend that have worked with Fringe shows in the past. So there are options if you don't have that through your venue. Okay, I want to do one last quick round. Or maybe not. Does anyone have anything they're like, oh shit, I wish I would have said that because somebody mentioned it? I'm going to do one quick pass the mic. That way you get a chance to throw in what you forgot. Yeah. And if you don't have anything, pat yourself on the back.
It's just great to see all of you again.
Eastwood Performing Arts Center. I did not give my contact information. It's yeah. So please email me. It's Calvin with a C, CALVIN, at eastwoodrevival.com. Calvin at eastwoodrevival.com. And if you're interested, please fill out an application on the Fringe website. Shoot us an email, and then we'll schedule you a tour.
I did the same thing. The GGC Theater. We are on the venue section of the Fringe Festival. We also created a website for this, which is on the venue festival site. And the email is ggcauditions@gmail.com. We're also old school, and we have a hotline, 310-366-5505. You can leave a message, and then we will return your call.
The Broadwater, we will have live stream in our 2 middle spaces. So we'll have it in our black box and in our second stage, and we'll have a live stream operator, much like the other technicians. We'll have a live stream operator that will be assigned to you that knows how to do it in our space. But all of that, we haven't quite put together our live stream packages yet. So if you're interested in that, I will have information soon. It's in the black box and second stage, yes.
Hi, Actors Company. I briefly mentioned that I run film festivals, but along with running the film festivals, I have killer video equipment. It's all brand new now. It's laser, 6,000 lumen projectors. So if you have projection you want to do, you're going to like this. And then a sound system that goes along with it too. Because as picky as you might be, filmmakers are 1,000 times pickier. So we have to accommodate them. And then if anybody has a show with like 20 actors, one of our theaters can accommodate dressing room size. They have 2 dressing rooms, so we can handle big shows. Okay.
Excellent. Also, just want to clarify my contact information. It is mquinn@theatererasylum.com. Phone number is 415-336-0513. Also, the lanyards, I just want to clarify, the lanyards are set up so anybody who has a lanyard is able to go see the show at showtime if there are seats available. Also, if anybody's interested who isn't booking at Asylum, you can still join the promotion package, and all that information is in our packet. And finally, Thymele Arts, as well as being venues for Fringe, is a tremendous rehearsal space. And what's really nice is John Henningsen, who runs Thymele, basically has all the venues set up, too, that will match every space that's here. So if you need something that's in the main stage, he can tell you which space is like that. So it's really Fringe friendly, and that's it. Thank you.
I feel like I need to say something else. Jen from Stagecrafts. We're rehearsal space. We do offer a discounted rehearsal space for Fringers who are in our venue. Even if that venue that you're performing in, it might not be available that night, we have all the other spaces. So we bounce people around, but you'd get the discount across the venues. So there you go.
I forgot to mention tours. I'm still coming back from maternity leave. So this Sunday, the Fringe event is actually at the Zephyr Theater. So we will be open for like 20 minutes before it starts to come give a little tour of the space. And then for a little bit after the event is open as like a little open house. So if you want to come see our space, I encourage you to come to the town hall so that then you can see our space. And then if not, we'll be doing tours mid-February when I'm officially back.
3 clubs. I forgot everything and my name. Tours, it's a bar. It's open. Go anytime. but after 6. But also, if you want to schedule a specific tour, also don't go tour the Black Box. It's not there yet. But send an email. We'll get you set up. We can come in and do a special tour whenever it works for you at any time. I wanted to mention about our slots. We do not have as many time spaces available as everyone else. We are going to do a first come, first serve basis. However, we will not let you come in and be like, I want Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. for 3 weeks. We will make sure that it is a 50-50. You have to do as many weekdays as you're doing weekend evenings so that it's fair for everyone, but it is still going to be first come, first serve. We will do shows until 1 a.m., but we will not do shows before 6 p.m. because we're a bar. Maybe on Saturdays and Sundays, if we start booking out, we'll start doing matinees, but it is a much, if you want to book at 3 clubs, we do need to do it sooner rather than later. That being said, if you come to our bar, we do not curate the shows other than hate speech. But if you come to our bar and we think that you're better suited for one of our other friends, we're a family. We are not against each other. We'll be like, love you, would love to do this. You might want to go look over at Theater Asylum. Like, you might want to go talk to Jen. Like, we might just send you somewhere else because we know what show you're talking about might be better somewhere else. And we're just trying to help you. That's all. I just wanted to, we're all here for you.
Thank you. No, I think that's a great point, and I think that those are the little things that I do see we're losing in the, like, people go one at a time, but this really is a family, just like we're expecting y'all to be. This is, everyone works together, and the venues are a shining example of that. So thank you, because I see it every day that you really do care about the artists, and you care about their journey and their experience. So know you have a whole support group just right here that are able and willing and excited to help your show dreams come true. So thank you for doing that for the artists of Fringe, y'all. It really is beautiful to watch. Yeah. No, I know. I'm going to have to come with some questions out of my back pocket here. Zeke, can you just... I was kidding.
No, it's set to sauna.
It's set to sauna. Very good. Okay. So that nobody would talk too long. Yep. Okay, so I want to go back to actually... Like, I think Lauren brought it up, and several of you, don't be a jerk, right? Like, I'll work with anyone, so happy to have any show, but I want it to be enjoyable. Like, it's a good experience. I think it's a good reminder to consider that, because this is not going to be the last time you encounter these venues. If you're going to continue to be an artist in Los Angeles, it is a small fucking world, right? Like, everyone talks, so if this is your first... It's true, and I think it's a good reminder to know that, like, your reputation is always 10 feet ahead of you. And so even, like, when it comes to going and touring a venue, if you've been in discussion with a venue and you decide to go with a different venue, let them know. It's absolutely okay that you made a decision that was better for your show. Like they said, they support each other, but do the right thing and let them know. Don't burn that bridge before it is fully built. Yeah. Yes. No ghosting allowed. That is the rule. And so with that, how can participants really kind of build the relationship? Because the relationship between a participant and a venue is important. It's a big part of the support structure. What can a participant do to be an awesome resident that you're going to want to have back? We'll just kind of do a short round.
Smile. Tip your barista or your bartender. Respond to emails. We respond to emails, so maybe you should respond to emails. I'm sure you will. I don't know. Smile.
Smile. It's been said, it all feels pretty common sense, but I think it's just the awareness that there's a show in the space before you, there's a show in the space after you. So when we say there's a 15-minute load in and load out, it's not because we're trying to be jerks, it's because we're trying to make sure that everyone who's coming in to the space with their show that matters to them gets the same extraordinary experience. So it's when you come in as a project, remembering that you aren't just doing your show as a satellite, you're part of this larger network, you're part of this hub, and you adhering to the rules of those space helps everybody's show be better.
I think helping us understand how we can improve with the experience that you're bringing from your other experiences at Fringe is what's going to help us remember and grow with you because we're new. Also, coming and getting to meet us before Fringe starts, helping us build our audience and getting to know us. That is going to be really important to us as we get started.
Hi, Jade, the GGC Theater. I mean, everybody's saying the same thing, but I think it's very simple for us, is keep our place clean and keep up the agreement, that we have between each other. And that's really all that I can say, is we're just excited to be here and to help everybody, bring your vision to life.
Patrick Broadwater. So 2 quick things. One is, sort of being aware that there's a show after you, a show before you, is that you really need to be careful about your show length. Be honest on the website. Be honest with in your marketing, and then try to keep to that schedule, because a lot of these venues, we'll have 10 performances in a day stacked on top of each other, and we don't want to interrupt your show. We don't want to have to try to figure out how to stop your show. So just really try to be aware of that show length. And then the more fun part is interact with the other people. We do our best to try to get, have mixers, especially with the bar, to have mixers and get people to meet each other. But some of the most successful shows were the people that volunteered. We don't provide a box office person. So the people that would volunteer for other people's box offices. And we saw one guy, we were like, you're friends with like 10 other shows? And he's like, no, I'm just helping out. And he just bounced around, and you know what? They all went and saw his show too. So yeah, just really being proactive in trying to help other people do their art is wonderful as well.
I think it's important to listen to your stage manager, the art tech person, and if they tell you that something is not going to work, it's not going to work. If they tell you that you're running 10 minutes long, you're 10 minutes long. So, work with them. And then the other thing is, don't hide something. Like, don't hide the fact that you're using glitter or blood or confetti. Or, it's, if let us know. If we'll see if we can work with it. If you have a liquid like someone's drinking on stage, we're going to insist that you have a towel with you, just in case, so that the next show doesn't slip, because there's nothing to clean up what you accidentally spilled. So just be honest about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, echoing that, communication is so important. And also, let us know early. We can stop. All of us want to see your vision come true. Let us know way ahead of time. Don't surprise us at tech, because we're going to try to make it work. My big thing is what you put in is what you put out at Fringe. So really, showing up now is a first great step. Going to the office hours. Take your time touring. Get to know all of us. Communicate with us. As we said, we do talk to each other. So really, it's for you to jump in. This is a way for you, and as producers, it's important for you from top down to let your whole team know, hey, they should start showing up to these events as well. So it's really up to you to really partake in all this. It's all here.
So as producers ourselves, and for you guys, we all know that everyone understands and feels that their show is the most important thing in their life at the moment. And we get that, but then it's always really good to remember that everyone else feels that same way about their show. So to have that same respect for everyone else, don't be a jerk, and trust your stage manager and your tech team. So like, for instance, when we are setting lights, we always tell people it takes about 5 minutes for every cue. So you can't just be like, where's the lights? Where's the lights? They're coming. So trust that we want the best for you. We want the best for your show, and the rules that we have in place are there in order for everyone to have the best time. And don't make your stage manager cry, because then you're definitely on our bad list.
Communication, as everyone else said. But going back to knowing your runtime, it helps if you know it sooner rather than later, because that's typically how we're booking, is knowing your runtime. The flexibility between that is very small. So if you book a contract, you have maybe 5 minutes on either side that you could go or give or take. So knowing that sooner rather than later, and if that changes, if you have title changes or anything like that, just updating your venue so that if they can make changes, they will. But if you don't tell them and you go from a 60-minute show and then try and do a 75-minute or a 90-minute show, most of the time it's not going to happen. So, and we hate to be the heartbreakers and have to break your heart. We hate it. But we have to keep in mind that every venue has multiple productions going on, and we have to keep the community as a whole in mind versus just every individual show. So it's all about community and respecting everyone's time.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else other than I'm a bar, so hopefully your people will drink. If you would promote drinking. Not for you necessarily. Not for people that shouldn't drink.
Over only though.
To be clear, Allie, is it a bar? It's a bar. Okay. Making sure. Okay, yes, and remember, like these, okay, because I know we're worried about contacts, hollywoodfringe.org/venues. From that space, you can apply directly to all of these wonderful spaces. All of the information we ask you to fill out when you're creating your project page, we're collecting all of the information, not the demographics, all of the personal information we're asking for our grant purposes that we use in general percentage format. Those are just for executive staff, but all of the questions about your tech, about your cast, any show specific questions, those are compiled into an application that when you hit submit to venue or apply to venue, that's what's going to the venues on the site. So no, you can do that, and also you can email directly. There's a message venue at the top of those pages, so you have direct access to all of these amazing spaces right from the Hollywood Fringe website. With that, I think we'll do some... Oh. Yeah. I know where you're going. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you apply to a venue, you're not like applying for a scholarship. You're not applying to college. All you're doing is giving information to us that is being emailed to us, and we will get back to you. So don't feel like I'm applying to a venue and they have to accept me. No. You're just sending us information. So you can do that for as many of us as you want, and we will all get back to you, and then you'll be able to schedule tours and figure out what's best for you. But it's not a scary application.
Yeah. No, that is an excellent point. And also, just in that same way, like you may be applying to 8 or 9 venues, and that's fine. That's absolutely fantastic. It also doesn't hurt to send that email, and not in a rush, like, get back to me right now way, because, again, there are hundreds of shows that are mass emailing these beautiful humans, and they have lives. Not much, because we all do Fringe, so we know it's a minimal work-life balance, but they are allowed to go to sleep and have a life. So please also give them a break, especially at these times when everyone is emailing. But there's nothing wrong with you submitted an application a week later. Hi, pal. I just wanted to let you know, hi, I'm so-and-so. This is my show. I'm really looking forward to connecting and seeing your space. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Be persistent when it's something that matters to you. With that, we're going to do some Q&A. I'm going to remind you, I'm going to come around with a microphone, very talk show host style. But when you get the microphone, tell us your name and tell us what show you're bringing to Fringe so we can start marketing. I saw this hand go first. I'm going to do my best to, we'll get to everyone, I promise. So sorry. Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to Fringe.
Hi, I'm Kelly McIver, and my friend Tamara Zook is doing the Great Aunt Isla Chronicles. So I'm checking in for stuff with her, so I'm part of her team. And what I want to... Yeah, and who does take over 60-minute pieces? It sounds like some of you do... all of you will. It's just like you except for Lauren. Oh, that was a hand there too? Sorry, it was down. So all of you do, it's just a matter of, obviously, you recommend that it's better if you can do... No, not even that?
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever it turns out to be. Okay. Thank you.
2013 Top of the Fringe winner was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah. No, and no, we will continue, and that comes from Fringe. We're giving you recommendations based on, like, the statistics, what works in the past, but there's always room to break the rules. In fact, like, prove us wrong, because people do all the time. You want to add?
But I will say, if it's your first time producing and like it's your first time getting in, like just make sure that you're really putting that up front, because people will be like in press. Like if you're a press person and you think it's a 60-minute show, it's going to be a lot easier to like slot into your schedule. So if you're going after awards and you're going after press and you're going after those kinds of things, make sure it's up front. I have 90 minutes so that they can slot it in instead of learning at the end that it's 90 minutes. Like if you're over that 60, just advertise it that way. That way you're advertising your show as accurately as possible, because it might be assumed that it might be a little shorter.
No, 100%. Okay, I thought I said, yep. Okay. So sorry, everyone. Hi, I'm going to reach over. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Christina. My show, it's called Mictlan, and I have a question for everybody. about the tech person or the stage manager who will be running the shows. My show is bilingual. Well, it's kind of trilingual, but most importantly, it's in Spanish. I just want to know who of you have technicians or the people who will be running the show who actually know Spanish. I'm a stage manager myself, so I go like by the lines, and I know that if somebody who doesn't know the language is running the show, it's going to be a mess. So that's the question.
We have someone we could specifically assign to your show if needed. But that is a great thing to think about when you are booking, and talk to your venue, because we'll make it happen for you. But again, the communication, very, very good. Yeah.
I think ours might speak Spanish, but I would, just to reiterate, we would work with you as best as possible. So the other thing that you could do with any venue you go to is, if you're already planning on being, like, say, the stage manager, is you could call the show, but have their tech person actually press the buttons. Because it's more pressing of the buttons that's the issue than you calling the show. Mm-hmm. Oh. I was like, I can read today.
Then again, it can be a raise of hands. Who would be open to having somebody with the technician calling the show? Amazing. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, just to reiterate, it's an excellent question to ask, and I'm sure all of us are going to be running back to our stage manager, tech person, asking if they speak Spanish, and probably we'll put it up on our website, so probably check back in a week and all that information will be up there. Yeah, that's good, so you'll probably find that.
Donate to the Hollywood
Excellent.
Fringe and get 2 mics next time.
Do you want to say that into the mic, Haverty?
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Christina. My play is called The Road to Nowhere, and my question is, you guys were talking about having like the exact run times when you book. I might be making some additional cuts. It's a original script. If it goes from like 56 minutes to shorter, like 48. Okay, so if it ends up shorter, but okay, cool. Thank you. Right. Okay, amazing. Thank you.
And I will note too, because this question will come up, and why not just save ourselves a few emails? When you change your runtime, if you've already booked in your space, because the venue, so you book your venue, you decide on a schedule with your venue, and then these venues are the ones who actually put it into the website. You will need to contact your venue if your time changes, because the moment I try to change that changes their schedule. The entirety of the system is gone. So I'll note that.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of like that, but just keep in communication with us, because what's really important, the reason that we're harping on the length so much is because people, other than our schedules, people stack their shows, right? So like they might be like, okay, I'm going to the show that's 30 minutes, but if it runs 45, they've missed the beginning of their next show. People will literally walk out if your show is over. They will walk out. So if they're 45, great. What I would normally tell people actually is I would say just keep it listed at 60. And then you can be like, you're out early, yay! The problem is going over. You don't want to do that. But I mean, like, that's actually one of the things that we have found in doing our dress rehearsals. That's where I will have, like, I'll have people just run it in show conditions, and I will tell people, hey, you're 10 minutes over. Like, you got to either talk faster or trim. And sometimes that's the answer. We had a show called 25 Plays Per Hour that was running 12 minutes over. It's the name of the show. We couldn't cut a play, and we couldn't make it longer. So you know what we did? We talked faster, and we got it to 56.
I would actually say if your show is 45 minutes, say 45 minutes, not keep it at 60, because I like scout and look at shows, and if it's 45 and a tight time, I'm going to see it. But if it says 60, I'm not going to book it. So I think be as honest and upfront with your audience of what's going on.
And we can change it in the Fringe site whenever you need.
Yeah, I mean the Fringe, everything on the Fringe site is adjustable up until we send that email that says like drop dead. The guide is sent off to printer. That is the moment where like it is in print, and we can still change it, but it's not going to be changed on print because I am not that magical. It cannot happen that way. All right, more questions? I see the corner. Thank you. All right. I'm going to go all the way up. I promise I'll get there. Just take myself.
I'm Ellie. My show is called Hell of a Year. This might be a stupid question, but can you clarify what load in and load out means? Like let's say like the show starts at 7. So does that mean that like production design and all that is part of the load in, or are you talking specifically about audience?
I'm gonna start with just a general, and then I'm gonna hand it off to a venue. But I just want to remind everyone, the Fringe is a low tech, low production. This is not the Pantages. Audiences also don't expect that. That said, again, you can break all the rules. If you book an extra hour in your venue, you can do a full set if the venue's fine with it. But that is not the Fringe.
That's why 3 Clubs requires 30 minutes, because there's a bar and there's drinks being ordered. So in order for your audience and you to get in there, you need more than 15 minutes. There's just no way that it's going to happen. Also, look, with a make your own space with the chairs. Any of our venues that you want to set up your own space and you want to change it around, you have to do it in that 15 minutes. You want to bring in a podium, you have to do it in 15 minutes. You want to get yourself set up in your dressing room, you got to do it in 15 minutes. But that's another reason why I would still go back to what I was going to say earlier, is that maybe don't say 60 and be 45, but say 50 and be 45, because it gives you 5 extra minutes to get people in on those days that people are running late because they're coming from other shows. It's not about lying. It's just about like, know your show, know your venue, know your audience, or try to, troubleshoot for that. I have done so many shows at Fringe, and they're never over 75 minutes. I always said it was 90 minutes, just to be safe, because people get really bad names at Fringe. It is a small community. We all talk, and someone is like, I didn't make it to 3 of my shows last night because so-and-so show was going long. Oh, me too the other day. And then nobody goes and sees that show anymore. You know what I mean? Anyways, sorry.
There's also a distinct difference, between what we're talking about here. What you tell your venue and you book on your contract is different than what you tell your audience. So do keep that in mind. Your venue is more likely to want to know your actual time, but if you book a 90-minute slot and you end up under than that, that's great. If you want to, then you keep that 90-minute slot, but we list what your actual run time is on the website. So you're going to need to know your slot that you're going to contract with in the next 2 months, but you're going to need to know your actual run time, like more specifically before the guide on April 15th. Load in and out. So if your show starts at 7 and you have a 15-minute load in, you get into the theater at 6:45. That means in those 15 minutes, your actors need to load in any set pieces you have and your audience. Audience takes like 3 to 5 minutes to load in, so don't stress about that, and it can be happening while other things are going on. The lights are stationary. The projector screen, if your space has it, is stationary. Don't feel like you have to load that in or out. It's just mostly your set pieces and your people.
Just one thing, because you heard, just like Fringe, 3 different views of times. I think the ultimate sense that we've all kind of talked about is your show has to end on time. Yeah. So you may start a little late, but your show may be 50 minutes and you got an extra. Your tech person will usually decide when you're starting, and it's based on when you get out of there. So really what's important is that you're out, so the next show come in and start on time.
And know at Fringe, too, it's not uncommon to see people outside of the stage door or outside of their load-in door preparing. Meet me here 15 minutes before we actually walk in, or practice it. Practice your tech. We last year ran a venue for scholarship shows, and we basically did that. Part of our tech rehearsal was we need to see you go in and out of the space in 15 minutes, because we didn't have a moment to spare on our schedule. If one show went over, the entire day was screwed. And so it's practice, practice, practice. Have your team on board with that. Okay, now come up here.
Hi, I'm Aaron Galloway with the Super Trio musical. Just wanted to ask, because the Zephyr Theater brought it up, we talked about there being hours available for tech time, but I wanted to know if any of these other venues also had rehearsal availabilities with their spaces before we get into go time. Rock on. Great news. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maddie Forrest. I have Rectangles, that's my show's name. And I was wondering, when we're choosing venues, how much we should consider the walkability of the venue to other venues that are in the Fringe circuit.
Yeah, and there's, again, 4 different answers, right? I will say with Fringe, everything is within a 2.5, 3 mile radius. So we originally set the Fringe zone to be all collectively. You could get there by lift in 15 minutes in any given corner of the zone. They're also clustered. So like a lot of audience I find will do, the east side corner and see a bunch of shows in the east side and then do the more central Hollywood. So there's not, this year especially actually, not a venue that is like chilling by itself with no other buddies like in the neighborhood. But does anyone have any additional?
I wouldn't stress about it.
Yeah, I would say go with what feels best for your show and then think about that. But I wouldn't like stress about that. If you end up finding the perfect venue that you're like, oh my gosh, this is it, but there isn't 6 other venues within walking distance, there's only 2, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Like 47.
Yeah.
There's not
No.
so many venues that we're not all keeping up with all of them.
Yeah.
It's LA. I don't think anyone walks.
That's it.
Although in a pinch, I have walked from like our furthest venue to the other side. I didn't smell great when I got to the other side, but I did it. All right, next question. Yep. Yes, Metro.
No. Please. Oh, please. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm doing a solo show called Sam. Very simple, very easy. Marketing, baby. And I'm a first-time Fringer, so I just wanted to clarify. I think I saw that you needed to book a venue in order to register for Fringe. I wanted to clarify that, and then also the general timeline of when venues will be booking us. Like, I'm on the wait list with the Broadwater, so just curious, like, when that, like, generally happens. Kind of for everybody, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, okay, first question, and this is, you're not alone. We get this question all the time. I even had a staff member today go, how does this work? So you're not alone. First, the thing that has to happen first, no matter what, create your project, only because that is going to be the easiest way to inform your venue what your show is. The rest of it, 2 and 3, register, book a venue, can happen in any order as long as all 3 are done by the guide deadline. Because I cannot put you in the guide and not tell people where to see your show. It's not going to be helpful to you. So all 3 have to happen before April 15th. But they can really, and you can even book a venue without having a project page. It's just, why not have the project page? You can get it done in 5 minutes. All right, and then I'll let the venues answer the follow-up question.
Which was... We're booking now. We've already booked a handful of shows at the Hudson Theater. Z. Grutman Hudson Theater. Hi, everybody.
Zach Davidson, LA LGBT Center. We are also booking now, and on a gentle first come first serve basis.
Calvin Piku Eastwood, we are also ready to book.
The GGC Theater, booking now.
We're... I'm taking my time. No, we decided this year to sort of set a date of our general booking starting on February 1st at the Broadwater. Thank you, Haverty. But I'm still, people are. I'm setting up packets. We're having discussions and dialogues and sort of pre-starting that. So please reach out. Don't wait until February 1st. But February 1st is where I'll start cranking out things and get it going.
Yeah, we've already booked quite a few shows, and up until the next brochure comes out, which I think is February 1st, we're honoring 2023 prices.
Woo, deal. We are also booking now. We've booked a few already. We're starting tours more aggressively starting up, so please contact us. We're starting the conversation. What's that? Aggressive tours. Yeah, I got to wash my thing. Calming, serene tours. Peter Asak. God bless Dave Haverty, everyone.
Stagecrafts. We are booking now. All of our schedules are done and ready to be seen and picked by people. I have them with me tonight if everyone wants to see a big spreadsheet. It's terrifying, let me tell you. But you can get an idea of what our schedules look like. I have them. And for tours, just contact us and we will set up a tour. I think we're going to be doing an open house this weekend for some of our venues.
Oh, before the Sunday?
Yeah.
I think we're doing
Well, no, I think on Saturday, right? Greg, did we come up with Saturday? All right.
You may do a Sunday. You may be doing a Sunday prior to the big event.
Oh.
Theater Asylum. Theater Asylum.
So we'll be putting all that information out there.
Yours, the town hall. Yeah. So the town hall that's at my venue, I keep forgetting. Just came back from maternity leave. Zephyr Theater here.
Are you booking?
We are. You did. She's outside. We are taking inquiries now. Because it's me. Hi. But I will start actually like doing contracts probably February 7th to put a random date out there. But please, we're first come first serve on inquiries. So if you reach out to me now, you'll be like in the ticker before everyone else who reaches out later. So I think that's more important is just when you start the conversation versus usually we're nice and we'll work with you on dates or whatever. Sorry. Yeah.
Allie, 3 clubs will start booking after February 1st, but we've got some inquiries in now, and we'll do some aggressive tours too if that's what you're into. And I just gotta say, if you want to do a show with some really hot, sexy lighting, you should stand right here on this stage, okay? This area is always gonna find this light.
We all should have known Zeke was on this side. We should have joined him. Yes, and no, too, like, I'm sure the panic is already setting in. We have, and trust, Elle and I are keeping very close tabs to make sure we have space for all of the shows that are registering. It's not like if you are investigating for the next month, you're going to not be able to do the Fringe because there is just no venue left. That it will not happen. There are spaces, like definitely if you were set on certain ones, the earlier the better, but find the right place that's going to fit your show artistically and financially. All of these, like we're not talking prices today, but they are all different prices. And so make sure you're thinking about that too. Your budget matters. It'll matter a lot more later after you've spent the money. So please always keep that in mind now. All right, more questions? Yes. I need this is where I need the music, Ellen. Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Olivia. My show is called American Single, a live dating show. And my question is about previews. How does that work per venue? And can you speak to, is that included in the show package? I'd like to know.
It's a secret, is that what I heard? Oh, yeah. Previews are entirely up to you. You do not have to do them. We highly recommend, on top of getting, that's a great chance to get participants in. Word of mouth is everything at Fringe. No matter how much money you put into marketing, word of mouth still carries more weight. So the more people you get in early, the better chance you have of filling those seats later on in the festival run. But it is entirely up to you. The only rule we have is you cannot book on the 12th. That is our opening night party. We expect you to party and then to come celebrate all of the work you have done, not be on your show. And Ellen doesn't have a mic, it's all fine. Okay, does that answer previews?
The only thing that I would say is that for 3 clubs at least, if you're going to do the package, that does require that one of them is a preview. And I don't know how many people that stands for, but yeah, generally if we're doing a package deal, one of them is a preview. You can't do 5 shows after previews, but you should be doing a preview.
If you tell me you want 3 shows and you want a preview, I'm going to assume that one of those 3 shows is a preview. You should do a preview. So if you want 3 shows total and a preview, you're going to tell me you want 4 performances. Yeah, it's like Zephyr.
Stagecrafts. Honestly, I think the previews are probably the most important show you'll do. So, we've certainly had people not be able to do preview because they're coming from out of town or whatever, and that's fine. But your first show, that is your opening too. And to be honest, that's why at our venues, that's why we started doing dress rehearsals, because I saw way too many producers have to get up and go, "Hey guys, this is the first time we're running with tech." I've had to be that person. It's a horrible situation. So that's why we just treat all of our previews like our opening. So preview is included in all of our packages.
Maybe just quickly, who here allows people to use one of their package shows for the previews? And I think that's pretty standard, that you're able to, and one is kind of what they do in general. Although I've seen shows that do like 9 shows, and they'll have 2 previews, always exceptions. I don't know.
With previews, it's a good opportunity if you have a lot of friends that are poor to get them like half-price tickets or free, or just somebody will start writing reviews on the website about your show and start getting the word of mouth out. So they can be valuable that way too. You don't have to do a preview with us. You may do a preview. You decide how many of your shows you want to go where.
Yeah, so with the Broadwater, with our packages, we do require that previews are included in that. So if you do a 5-show package, that's 1 preview and 4 shows. If it's a 9-show, actually, if it's a 9-show package, 2 of them have to be previews. But so we do require them, but they, as one echo, they're very important. A lot of award, we do a best of Broadwater, and a lot of our voters are seeing previews. They're aware of their previews, but the only way we can see 1,000 shows is to get in the, and it's important. And then it also, that weekend feels like Fringe. So I don't want anyone to think that there's this weird quiet preview period, and then we open Fringe. Like that Fringe preview weekend is already at high octane, crazy, fun Fringe level. So,
sorry, just to backtrack. We're all saying previews, but in sense, it's really a press week. That show is just as important as opening night. The judges are going, the press is going. So it's not like your preview where you don't invite press and you're still working it out. This is the real deal. And shows that have a tight show on preview stand out. You don't want to be the show like, oh, it's a good show, maybe see it next week. Like, you want it to be on this front.
For the GGC Theater, I'm kind of following Matthew with him of like whatever you rent is however you're going to use it. So if you're doing a package, like what they're saying, that would obviously be included a preview plus 2 shows, 7 packages or 7 shows, 2 previews, 5 shows, or 1 preview. Whatever you rent with us.
At Eastwood, it's the same. So if you get a 5-show package, your first show is going to be a preview. But in my experience as a Fringe audience member for the past 10 years, particularly someone who couldn't afford a lot of primetime theater, previews are great, and previews still fill out a lot, and it's a great chance for people to see your show before the big Fringe party and then start that word of mouth.
LGBT Center, same thing. If you book a package, we strongly suggest that you use one of those performances as one of. Yeah. All right.
Hudson Theater. Okay, so we don't do packages, and I think this makes me think that. What? This just makes me think that it's worth it, even though the venue panel is fantastic and getting tons of information today. And it's been said many times, but the importance of reaching out to multiple venues and having conversations, you're gonna discover real specific information that might be different from one venue to the next. I'm hearing a lot of things that, not across the board, but a few venues do it this way. Oh, that's not how we do it at all. Just little slight things. So you're not gonna get all that. It's all great, So, but you talk to everybody. Anyway, so previews, yeah, you should do a preview.
I just wanted I've been doing as a venue manager since 2016 was my first year, and when I first started doing it, there was a lot more uniformity in how venues booked things, and every year now, and I think this is a great thing. Every year, I feel like the venues keep innovating and keep thinking about it and keep getting feedback, and now there's a lot of different structures. Financially, but also schedule-wise, or even so. That's also why it's great to visit the venues, talk to us separately, because you might really gel with one of these structures, and the other one's not how you want to do art, or that one, you love that structure, you know. So, but I'm always amazed at like the different ideas that venues are coming up with and the innovations. So yeah.
No, and I think like the takeaway from this panel, if anything, should be the questions to ask. You're finding out things that you should be kind of thinking about throughout the process. That way, when you have these one-on-one chats, you know the questions to ask because you know what your needs are in talking about all the different options available. And yeah, you know, that's why I don't know any of the information. Every year it changes. I don't have a fucking clue what's going on with venues half the time. All right, another question? Yes.
Hi, it's me again, Christina with Miklan. I'm gonna say it right, Miklan. And I wanted to ask, do you have a deadline for the tech rehearsal? Like, does it have to be before preview start? Or, for example, if I wanted my preview to be on the 11th, could I tech on the 10th? Yeah? Yeah, but it's like not something regular that is like, oh, it's this week and that's your only shot. Okay, cool. Then I'll go one by one afterwards.
Everyone is going to be different.
Yes, and yep. No, thank you.
Hi, I'm Autumn. I'm with Heart Held at Knife Point, and our show is fairly bloody, which I know is a challenge, and it's something where, we are being very forthright with and planning ahead with. We have a rollout stage that we're going to do everything on top of and clean that up and roll it up and take it out. And I just wanted to know if there are any spaces here where that's not something you can accommodate.
Not or is?
We're, I guess, yeah. Yeah, what's your blood situation?
We get this question every year. Every year we end up talking about blood on stages. All right, anyone have a specific? Of course it's you.
Right? So our company, we also produce at Fringe every year. And so we have produced a show called A Very Die Hard Christmas at Fringe, where we literally had a kiddie pool full of blood backstage. And in our other venue, we had a blood cannon for another show. That was our first year. Maybe we won't do that again. I know, but the point is, ask the venue individually. This year we have 5 different rooms for stagecrafts. I'm thinking at least one of them probably would not be okay with it. But others, sure. We also have a really good washable blood recipe. If you want it, let me know. But just ask everyone individually. But when you're booking, you want to take your cleanup into account. So miraculously, for Very Die Hard Christmas, we didn't book extra time because we had to book in our own venue, and we just had a whole team of people and mops and plans for cleaning up this blood, and we did it, and it was amazing. But then we had another show that actually booked an additional half hour for cleanup because she had so much blood. No problem, but just make sure that you work that into your cleanup time.
Out of context, this is so weird. Lauren, you have a blood story?
Oh, lots of blood. Yeah, well, that was a mild blood story compared to video games.
Take the mic, girl.
Yeah, the first blood show that I had.
This is your favorite part.
It took about 2 years before I stopped seeing blood in weird places because it goes on the hands and it goes on the feet, and they used a sugar formula, so then it causes the ants, and it's just a nightmare. Then last year, the top of the Fringe show was a blood show, and we worked out very carefully in discussion what needed to happen, and she did it, and there was not a spot anywhere. So it's just a matter of figuring out the plan. It's got to be worked out. And do know that blood travels all over if you're not careful.
So for show and murder, this is good information to know. I'm just gonna to answer the question though. Show of hands. Is there anyone who's like hard no blood, glitter, like no mess like that in my venue?
Well, no glitter.
Oh, different question. Okay, so blood, all good across the board. And okay, now we got to know who's a no glitter house. All right.
Bring all your glitter to 3 clubs.
Wait, so
I think it's
glitter
good to know.
is allowed at 3 clubs.
Because is there a bar alley? Is there a bar?
It's glittery.
Yeah. All right.
If you come with a plan, it will be great. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just
come with a plan. Yeah.
Communicate.
If you communicate a plan to start with, if you have a crazy idea, but you come and you say, hey, I have this crazy idea, I want to do it, here's my plan, we are 100% more likely to agree with you and work with you and want to do something than if you say, there's blood in it. Cool, what, where, how much, what are you planning to do with that? And if you don't have an idea or you don't have any ideas, we're a lot more hesitant to allow you to book than if you come with what you've even already said. Makes me go, yes, sure, we can work with you. Yeah.
And I mean, even picture, like, or long-term picture too, right? Because a lot of shows that are coming to Fringe are looking at, like, what are they going to do after Fringe? You're building reviews, you're kind of building this process so that you can take it to the next step. So is Blood going to tour well? Same thing with, like, that. Why I think another reason we keep saying 60 minutes. Like, if you're looking at, like, a tight show to, like, take show, or to festival, these are things, like, that we're pushing toward only because of that next step. All right, any more questions? We have about 5 more minutes. Yes. Oh, you're so close.
Hello, my name is Lily Abakratsley. I have a solo show. It's called The Fairy Who Cried Gems. And I am curious, I came late, so I apologize if you already answered this. I'm curious about, in regards, not to go back to the time thing, but the 60-minute slot. If, for example, your show ran about 45 and you had some interest in doing like an optional talk back community conversation adjacent thing, how much of a logistical nightmare is it not to have sort of half of your audience leave early and then have the next half sort of leave after about like 15 minutes?
I think it's fine, as long as you're within your time.
As long
as you're out by the 60.
Yeah. And I think the last answer, right? Communicate, have a plan. Like,
Yeah.
And I think, right, because the whole point of Fringe, too, is like you're producers now. You're not just artists that someone else is in charge of. That you're going to be told what to do, how to do it. This is your chance to figure out, like, to really take control over your artistic vision. And a lot of it is like spreadsheets and figuring out exactly step by step how things are going to work. And it's icky, but you're going to love yourself for it when you come to June and you can just enjoy the process. Okay, I think one more question, and then don't forget we're going to have a whole networking session. Right, you're going to be tough to get to. Okay. Pass it back. Teamwork. Thank you.
Sorry for the hassle.
No, not at all.
I'm John, I'm with Galatea. I was curious who was connected to coffee shops and cafes, and how does that work? Is it a separate independent organization? Is it venue space? Is it just...
I got you.
What's that?
Are you talking about ones outside of, like, just finding the coffee
Like the one
shop?
out front?
Yeah, like Javista or like
Doing your show in a coffee shop.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one that has a coffee shop, right? Well, I mean, Zeke has one there, but so. Well, no, I mean like performing in it. So Javisa might be what you're talking about. That one, it's a cabaret space in a coffee shop. So at least for us, the way that's going to be set up is that we're going to have actually very few schedules available because it's only going to be on the weekends. So it's Friday through Sunday, which is fine, and it's going to be in the evenings. So it's kind of like a little boutique because it's going to be kind of exclusive. But the shop will be open, but only for your patrons and your cast. So they are doing Fringe after their own shop hours, and then we're going to make sure that like you're not having just randos walk in and see your show for free. Like we're going to make sure it's a ticketed event, but your audience can get snacks and drinks and stuff during the show. So I'd come to a show that has coffee involved, let me tell you.
I would also add, this space sounds great. You can go to any coffee shop and make a pitch as long as they're in the Fringe zone. They're going to talk about bring your own venues coming up, and so the more the merrier, and spread it out. This is a great model to do. They've done the work for you.
Yeah.
They've done the work for you.
Okay, y'all, and we're gonna go next door to the coffee shop that is not a venue but is in a venue. So Nailed it. For the next hour, that way you can get to know these beautiful humans in a more one-on-one way and find out like where your show is going to fit best. Reminder, you can find all of these venues and more at hollywoodfringe.org/venues. If you have a question just about how the process works, like a general, hey Fringe, how do I do this? Email support@hollywoodfringe.org. This is your new best Fringe pal. We are here for all of those questions. There is not a dumb question, a stupid question. We know that like we get the same questions over and over, and that means we're not communicating correctly. So please ask your questions. And then if you have individual questions for these venues, of course, reach out to their venue profiles on the website. Come to our town hall on Sunday. It's important from 2 to 4 at the Zephyr Theater. Oh, yes. Let's go have some coffee and talk. Thanks, y'all.
No, get out of this lighting.
We're doing this again. Fringe. This is what I
And we'll say, in this package,